Hauptday Guam in USA, welcome back to Mr. PikaGuam.tv, and tonight we're going to learn how to cook crabs. We're using Alaskan king crab here. I'm making a soup, karun pong lao you would call it, I guess. And this is basically my substitute for, the same process, the same way we use a coconut crab, a zuzu in Guam, is how I'm going to cook this. So this is like my substitute for coconut crab. My substitute, which usually they use kangkung or watercress, which is basically a vegetable that has a lot of liquid in the stems. But since I don't have that here in NorCal, I'm gonna use bok choy, and I'm using some garlic, some ginger, onions, some tomatoes. And then the next additive I'm going to use is just about maybe 2 tablespoons of salt and 3 cans of coconut milk. Part of the preparation to making this kaddu, or this crab soup, I actually put in about a pitcher of water. I threw in some onions, some garlic, some ginger, to create the broth that is going to make the soup base for our dish tonight. And so once again, you see that boiling up really fast, really good. And I saved, the rest of the garnishments for you guys to witness on TV. So this seems like a very, very difficult dish to make, but trust me, you can do it. If you can cook ichibang, or if you can cook, spam and eggs, you can cook this. It's really simple. Trust me. The only thing that's going to be a little bit of work in preparing the crab is basically separating the pieces of the crab. So if you have a little bit of causes or callus, you probably won't have to worry about it like I do. But you want to be careful when you separate the crab legs, because you don't want to tear up all the ligaments here. I'm using a scissors here to keep that intact. But your trick is to really pretty much separate all of them. That way when you serve it, you're not having to decorate the table full of crab junk. Sort of twist that. Take a scissors, cut in between. And you will come up to some pieces that have like a cartilage strip that comes out. You want to cut that out as well. It's not that delicious. Alright. Now, try to remember not to really damage the skeleton of that's harboring the meat, because you don't want to have a bunch of shells and loose crab all over your soup. It's just going to be better to be able to pull the meat out of the crab shells. So I think after I get this one taken care of, we should be good. And what I was talking about earlier, the cartilage strips, that's what I was talking about. This little, you don't want to really put that in, because it's just more work for your guests to eat. There's another one. Ooh, that one fell out. Okay, so I have the water and basically the soup broth ready to go. The next thing I'm going to throw in is the rest of my garlic. I want this tasty. Very, very tasty and good. Throw in some ginger. I've already added a whole bunch of ginger, so this is going to be a little bit excess, but you can never have too much ginger. Now I'm going to throw in my tomatoes. The tomatoes are going to sort of alter the color of the kaddu. It's going to make it sort of like not really pink, but you know what I mean, the Chamorro style looking. Now I'm going to throw in a whole bunch of onions. It's basically so much onions that it looks overwhelming, but trust me, it's a great vegetable in the soup. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm going to add my coconut milk, 3 cans. to get my crab ready, and you guys will see the presentation of the soup when the video is over. But basically what I did was I made the soup, and then at the very last minute, because crab doesn't need to cook for much more than like 15 minutes. You know, it's a very you know, easy to cook meat. It's basically already cooked. And then you know, I'm gonna throw this in the bok choy right after the crab. So, oops. Throw my rice on low. Alright, so we got our water, we got our garlic, onions, ginger, tomatoes, all thrown into this soup broth, which was pre-based with some garlic, onions, and ginger in advance so that it can, you know, make the broth. Alright, so here we go. When you guys see the picture, you'll see how the presentation looks. This is only a one video segment, but you'll see after the crab and the bok choy is thrown in what the finished product looks like. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in, and see you in our next video.